this afternoon, ready to see what they've got and how or if these pieces are going to fit together. Their opponents here will be the New York Jets.
And it's the birth of a new club as we're underway in Draft Champions. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. On the ground, this is Isaiah Crowell. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Still second down.
After the penalty, it's Crowell trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
Baldwin now to return. Oh, what a move. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Eagles take possession. They go play action here on first down. And the hook up here with Jalen Strong complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So the offense has it 1st and 10. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player. Myles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They snap it to Locke. He's got the completion to Strong. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
From the red zone now, Locke. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here we go now with Smith. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1.
Brandon, now we find out what their definition of commitment is. They've run it on the first 2 plays. Do they come back and do it again? They're that much closer to getting into the end zone.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Emmitt Smith taking it in from a yard out. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. So Emmitt Smith hits pay dirt. Back in his day, he had 175 of those in his career.
25 in 1995. You know they talk about people who have a nose for the end zone?
He had it.
Emmitt Smith was about full body immersion.
That time, a 9-play drive. And it's the Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith who caps it off with a touchdown run. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, if they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Julius Peppers. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Let's go! 3-19!
On 3rd and long, it's McCarron. A dump off for Davis. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Back out onto the field now. Here comes the Jet defense. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. That is driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky. Preach. Fresh set of downs here.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty?
Yep.
Wily? Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book.
He's got a man. Complete. A gain of 32 that time.
That has to be frustrating for defenders. Third down, they take a shot way downfield. There is good coverage, yet they still come down with the football and pick up a big gain.
A first down carry now for Crowell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments for the offense make to try to defeat you?
A reminder coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before that. A.J. McCarron looking to throw. And it's caught by Shorts. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 1st and 10, here's A.J. McCarron. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Devontae Adams. 34 yards. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them. In fact, some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. On 4th down, Colton Schmidt to punt it away. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. They're going to go. It's locked. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. Looking for Macklin, and it's intercepted. They find some open field here. There he goes left side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. To return, this is Doug Baldwin. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Fresh off the pick 6, it's locked. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
So they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
The final shot before the break. Luck. He's going to take another shot here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls in. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically what they're doing,
through an opening, and there he goes. The 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Emmitt Smith, 76 yards. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
They keep it with Crowell on first. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 26 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be a New York first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. To me, that's a superior play by the backer, because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defense defensive linemen, they cover things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. And you're not allowed to climb. You got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them.
He's got time in the pocket. And complete on the right side. It's Tammy. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Martin, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. To throw is Lott. He's got a man wide open. It's Macklin. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had to read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Sean Weatherspoon with a tackle.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So from the 40 to the 45, 5-yard run.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, it's Crowell. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. They'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. Back now in Cincinnati. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And following. Interception, just any interception. Are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll fake it. Now Love. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Tackle is made by Clinton McDonald.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Luck now to throw. And this is caught. He hits Macklin. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Now Luck. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
They begin with a run by Crowell. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Time for a break. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. McCarron to throw on 2nd down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Oh, boy, he got a favorable spot there. The guys on the sidelines were raising their hands over their head and clasping their hands to signal safety. But the official marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
They'll run with Davis. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a 1st down.
Now it's Baldwin. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They're on the outskirts of field goal range here in a tie game with a little time. So how do you handle this? What do you do here, Charles?
Everybody wants to pick up as much yardage as possible. But the weird part is for field goal kickers, being in really close sometimes puts more pressure on them because it's much more of a position kick as opposed to just going ahead and letting it out and letting it thump. A lot of guys like a little bit of distance because you know they can handle it, and it's a more natural swing of the leg.
So maybe getting inside the 20, not that big of a deal.
Not that huge of a deal. Sometimes that messes you up with the angles depending on which half.
And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And New York set to take the field. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Marcus Wheaton was the one he was looking for. And it's second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call
eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll look to throw. He's got time. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Well, we saw a close game.